The world is old and decrepit, marred by the distastes of ambition and selfishness. It had known better times, but those that remember them are gone. Yet much remains, and I must do my best to preserve the histories of my people, so those that come after us may treasure the memory of valor and glory and the stories of our ancestors. Mine own tale, though not one of great importance. I, Kílthól Thàryn, am but a humble precept, a vessel of poetic rhetoric, tasked with the duty of chronicling the deeds and tribulations of souls far more heroic than me. However, heroes can't read or write from the grave, so alas, I am their tongues and songs, and I will do my best to sing their praise to the pinnacle of my talents. The world has been through many a phase, times of peace overshadowed by a coming of war, memories of prosperity quashed by the prehensile appetites of its negligent kings. It has felt times of absolute triumph and tasted the harsh truths of humility. And through all it has endured, it still resonates an intense beauty, a beauty often found in the strangest of places, if one only cares to look beyond the horizons of their own existence. And that small truth is where I begin with my ramblings, for I would not be here if not for such souls. Of all the legends of this world, crammed onto damp parchments on some befouled shelf in a precept's lodgings, is one greater than any other. The realm in which some of the forthcoming events come to pass is a place close to my heart, a beguiling milieu, much more beautiful than the words of my hand can describe, a haven of souls of which most are ungrateful, but the land looks after them nonetheless. I am, of course, describing the sumptuous domain of Viral. A regal estate, overflowing with all the pleasant vistas Mother Nature has to offer. Its mountains stretch so high the tops vanish among the clouds. The desultory meanders of its rivers carve through the landscape like fissures on the sides of dried cheese. Its forests so thick that neither the breath of the wind nor the touch of the sun's light can pierce their canopy. The maternally verdurous pastures, on which so many lives depend on, continually provide, oft without any gratitude repaid. Yet, like many other places of the world, this land of such righteous splendor has been privy to the animosity and depravity of immorality, which, if left unchecked, claws its grip around the necks of hope and resilience against its expanse, until liberty feels more like the cold of iron chains on broken skin. But valiance cannot live under such inhibitory contexture, and so the more evil tightens its grip, the more it forces action from those oppressed, grasping for air to breathe. But alas, the actions of good and evil are often in balance, for one doesn't exist without the solicitation of the other, and without degrading my works with a degree of cynicism, I thank the gods that this is the case, for otherwise I may have been a farmhand, and that is a profession best left to folks with broader arms than I was blessed with. So, while the strong men toil in the fields, and the women stitch nets for the fishermen, I took to burying my head in all manner of documents and records. While the soldiers guard the gates, I took to guarding texts from the corruption of a biased man's agenda, for what are we without our history? You could liken us to plankton, or the fungus that grows on the festering sinew of a corpse, as it is of my belief that life without memory is no life at all, as even bad memories have the aptitude to change a person's destiny. Although it pains me to say, this land of contradicted ancestry has seen many events she did not deserve to bear witness to. But history is not ours to change, and these events happened nonetheless, and regardless of our repulsiveness of the morality of our forebears, we should each rejoice, as by some miracle there is a poetic irony to our belief that we are different or better than our kin. For the anecdotes of antiquity that belong to our progenitors have us locked in common relation with the fact that our pasts are entwined with blood and steel.